Sarah J. Anderson Pioneers. It's Mrs. Thompson here with my math channel, my new math channel. And I was just going to go over with you guys those multiplication strategies that we worked so hard on this year in 4th and then in 3rd grade. So the first thing we want to talk about is why do we learn these multiplication facts in a strategy-based order, which is what we were doing when we were together. Research shows that we learn our facts, everybody learns their facts pretty much the same way in 3 phases. So the first phase, the way that we learn our facts is we're counting. We're counting to get the answer. We might be skip counting or we might be actually counting to get the answer. Then we move on to a phase 2, which is deriving the fact by using a strategy. So that's kind of where we landed this year. We were working really hard on finding a strategy for each of our factors. And that's the purpose of these videos, is just to kind of keep moving that momentum forward with all that good work that we were doing. So we're working on deriving a strategy for each of the factors. And then phase 3 is we just master the fact. We know what it is. Okay, so that is it in a nutshell. What these videos are about is trying to move us from a phase 1 to a phase 2 so that we can make that leap and get into a mastery phase. Okay? Now, why do we learn them in a strategy-based order? And what is that order, right? So the foundational facts for multiplication are 0, 2, 1, 10, and 5. And the way that I rolled it out this year is we started off with our zeros and our ones, then we moved to 2, then we moved to 5, then we moved to 10, then we went to 11, then we went to 9, 4, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 12. But for right now, we're just going to talk about why do we learn these facts first. Well, these are our foundational facts. So outside of 0 here, if you know your 2's, then guess what? You can double your 2 and get your 4. And if you want to double, you can get your 8. So that's pretty cool. And if you are going to, if you learn your 2's and then you learn your 1's, you can use those 2 facts to help you learn your 3's. So if I know my 2's and then I add another group, then guess what? I know my 3's. And if I know my, 1's, but if I know my 5's and my 1's, if I take my 5 and I add a group, guess what I get? My 6's, which is pretty cool. Similarly, on the subtraction route, if I know my 10's and I take a group away, I'll have my 9's down, okay? And if I know my 5's and I take a group away, I'll have my 4's again. And then the other facts, you can use a break apart method, okay? And that's what these ones are down here for. So we can use these foundational facts, we can break them apart, and then we can learn my other facts on here that we hadn't mentioned before, like our 7's, and I guess our 7's and our 8's are right here, but our 9's. So there's what the point is that there's a couple different strategies you can use to learn all your multiplication facts, okay? So each week we'll post another video with a factor that we're working on, and we'll use the chart like we did at school to help us break that fact apart. We're going to build an array. We're going to talk about groups. We're going to talk about the commutative property and why it's important for us to know the commutative property, in case you didn't remember. We're going to do a little division, a little inverse operation. We're going to do some skip counting on a T-chart down below here, and then we're going to come up with a strategy of how we're going to solve for that fact. And I'm going to upload videos as often as I can. And if you guys want to hop on, go over the chart with me, get a little refresher. And then my goal is to have an activity or a game that you can use after we get done filling out the chart for each fact to practice. All right. So take care, you guys. Hope everybody's well. And I hope to see you soon. All right. Bye, guys.